What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and so I know I haven't made a video in a few days. I know I'm a little bit behind on, like, you know, training camp and all the news and stuff that's coming out. The reason for that is because my computer had died a few days ago, unfortunately. So you know, I had to get a new one. You know, blah 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 blah. So I am back up and running. You know, I got some new software and stuff too. I got a new computer. I got some new video editing software. Hopefully it's actually going to be better, you know, than the previous one. Hopefully I'll be able to do more with it with this new computer that I have. I do expect that in the future I will be able to start doing some live stream type events. You know, so I'll probably do that, you know, during games, to, you know, live stream, you know, my reactions and stuff to games, and, you know, blah blah blah. I think that'll be fun and fascinating. So anyway, the door is going to start opening up to new and broader possibilities for this channel and everything. So I'm really excited about that. And looking forward to that. So you know, make sure, you know, if you know, ask me questions, you know, all that stuff, you know, so that way I can, you know, read them, you know, in videos, and so on and so forth, right? You know, I can respond to your questions. Also, you know, if you have, you know, if you guys have any, you know, suggestions or things you want to see in my videos, so on and so forth, you know, make sure you know, get into the comment section about that too. You know, I tell you guys, you know, questions, comments, concerns, you know, let me know, you know, things that you guys, you know, ideas of, you know, like I said, things that I could do, or, you know, put in my videos, you know, additional things that I could do for, you know, you guys, whatever. You know, I like to have your input, so on and so forth. So make sure you get in there and let me know. Like I said, I got new software, new computer, all that stuff. You know, so let's do this together, right? There's definitely, you know, room to grow and stuff from here. So I'm really excited about that. And look, so now, you know, that's kind of channel business. You know, we'll get into there's a lot, obviously, that has happened over the past few days. Unfortunately, it's going to be too much to get, you know, everything. So I'm going to try and just, I've been trying to keep track of, you know, some things that have, you know, some notable things that have happened over the past few days. So I'm just going to try and cover that, and then I will get into, you know, I'll make sure to you know, get back in the swing of things now that I'm set back up, and make sure I'm doing, you know, my daily videos. If there's, you know, stuff to talk about, which there almost is every day now that training camp's ensuing. And by the way, you know, we have our first preseason game on Thursday, I believe, if I remember correctly, against the Atlanta Falcons. So look out for that. That'll be exciting. I might do a live stream for that. We'll see. But anyway, so getting into some of the things, first and foremost, Dolphins legend Nick Buonaconti has passed away. I wanted to mention that, you know, so condolences go out to his family, you know, all the wishes and prayers and so on and so forth. I'm not particularly religious, but, you know, all, you know, best wishes go out to his family in the, you know, time of grieving and so on and so forth. And of course, you know, I mean, he was a legend, right? I mean, he contributed so much. I think he's got, what, 2 rings. He was monumental on the 1972 team. Like, he did so much for this team and this franchise, and so on and so forth. And so, you know, definitely we want to remember him for, you know, the man and the player that he was. And so we will do just that. So RIP to Nick Buonaconti, and, you know, best wishes to his family in their time of grieving. Also, the Dolphins have signed a linebacker, Nick DeLuca. Let's see, he was, this was on Friday, that they did this. Let's see. He's good at, linebacker depth. He's a linebacker, so he's good at linebacker depth. Let's see. They had released punter Stone Wilson, so Matt Hawk is going to continue to be the guy. They had another punter in there, but they released him, so they did have an open roster spot. So Nick DeLuca is filling that. He played college at North Dakota State. He's in his second NFL season. He began his career last year as an undrafted free agent with the Tennessee Titans before being waived in mid-August. Let's see. He then signed with Jacksonville later in the month, initially starting his rookie season on the practice squad. They moved him to the active roster eventually, where he appeared in 9 games. He tallied 12 tackles with 1 sack and 1 forced fumble. The Jags released him in June, and now, they're adding him to the mix there, which is good. Bringing in a guy like that, to me, that makes sense, right? At some point, we only need 1 punter. So I think, making that decision earlier on, sooner rather than later is good, and opening up that roster spot for some play or for a position or player that, could be more beneficial, more important. I think that's great. And linebacker is good, especially considering, Raekwon, has had some injury history. Kiko's had some injury history, right? So on and so forth. And we know that Mike Hull's on PUP, whatever. So, at least bringing him in for training camp, I think is great. I think that's a good move. And it gives you, just in case, right? It gives you a little bit more, comfort and security just in case something does happen to one of your guys, improve the depth, and, maybe he can contribute on special teams and so on and so forth too. So I think that's good. I think that, picking up, in contrast, right? So to contrast that to some of the other things I've said, picking up a wide receiver or your, 10th cornerback, when instead you could have gotten an offensive lineman, right? That doesn't make sense to me. This does make sense because, you opened up a spot on the roster because you got rid of a guy you don't really need, right? Because you don't need 2 punters, and with that hole that was open, you took a position. Now, I would still say that, offensive line probably would have been the better choice, considering we still need, a ton of help there. But having said that, I still do think that picking up another linebacker is actually, definitely a good move, especially, or at least for camp purposes, right? Considering, those other factors. Let's see. Also, Rashad Jones has been, dealing with some stuff. We'll get into the whole I want to keep this video kind of as short as possible for right now. So we'll get into the whole, what's it mean for his future and so on and so forth conversation later. But he has been in a cast on his foot. It doesn't look like he's going to be ready for the season opener. So that is definitely going to be a situation that we're going to have to continue to monitor. Also, real quick, another thing that I wanted to note, I did mention, I think in my last video, that Michael Dieter did get, put into the starting lineup in practices. He seems to be doing all right. So that is something we'll have to monitor, for sure, and see if he can, continue to improve and be an impact, because again, we really need him to be. That offensive line right now has far too many holes, far too many mysteries, and so on and so forth. So we need guys. So that is something for the rest of, training camp and preseason. Training camp's going to be over soon. But anyway, through the preseason and into these games, we'll keep an eye on, because that's going to be super important. Let's see, what else? Dwayne Allen is back. He's off of PUP, so that's good news. Man, I'm sorry, there was a ton of stuff. I'm really trying to make sure I just get like the most important things out to you guys. It's been so hard trying to keep track of everything over the past few days, because now that we're back into the swing of things, everything is just flying. I think that's about it, though. There were a bunch of interviews that were done. I'm not gonna put those in because there's just a ton of them at this point, and yeah, it's gonna make my video absurdly long and all kinds of stuff, and I gotta go track all those down. Anyway, it's a ton of work. Unfortunately, I don't have time for. I do, and also it would, like I said, it would make this video just incredibly long and ridiculous. So, and there's just too much stuff to cover. Like I said, I mean, I could talk and talk. The NFL just had their, we had the Hall of Fame game. There was the first instance of a pass interference being challenged. There's just a ton of stuff to talk about. I want to keep it as, concise and consolidated as possible for this video. And I'm, like I said, now that I'm back up and running, I'm gonna make sure to stay on top of this stuff for you guys. Also, too, if you guys, left any questions or anything on my previous videos, I'm going to get to those, so don't worry. And, from here on, I'm going to start, like I said, if you guys, leave questions and stuff in there, I'll start answering them again for you guys in videos. Now that I'm all set back up and everything. Man, okay, look, there's still so much more that I want to talk about and everything, but we will hash it out over the next several days as training camp, or as the preseason, progresses. So I'm just going to end it here. I just wanted to, really update you guys on those, few, key things. Oh, one more thing. So Devontae Parker's off season, continues to hold strong. But again, take that for what it is, right? Because we have seen that, several times in the past. He needs to prove it on game day, on Sundays. So again, another situation that we're going to monitor, right? Like the Michael Dieter situation, the Rashad Jones situation, the Devontae Parker, all of those, the linebacker situation, all of those are going to be huge. Major factors into the quality of our season going forward, and also the state of the team and the franchise going into the future. So those are going to be major storylines that we're going to follow, and we are going to follow them closely and in depth. So, stick with me for that. We will get to them. Anyway, like I said, guys, I am going to end the video on that for now. So real quick, I do want to apologize, for not having been here the past few days to thoroughly cover all of the stuff that's been going on. I am back in the swing of things. I am all set. I'm good to go. So I will be, able to do that. I just hate, I hate being out of it and not, being able to provide videos for you guys. Anyway, so I'm gonna stop ranting and whatever. I'm gonna get out of here. I hope you guys do enjoy my videos. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. And of course, as always, make sure you follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I'm out. I'll see y'all soon. Phins up.